Let's make braised beef short ribs over grits. First thing we're gonna do is season up our short ribs. And these are boneless short ribs we picked up from our local butcher. I couldn't find any with a bone in. We're gonna do it this way. Now, and I have some people coming over for Sunday dinner. So instead of trying to season all these, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bowl. I'm gonna throw some olive oil in my bowl. Just like that, around all the sides. I'm gonna throw these babies in there. Stack them up a little bit. Then what I have here, I have some sea salt and pepper mixed. So I'm gonna go ahead and start seasoning this. Turn it over. I'll flip the big side open. So we're gonna season this generously with some salt and pepper. Give it a good mix. Now we're gonna throw another stack in there. Same thing. All right. Now what we're gonna do after we get these seasoned, we're just gonna set them out of the way for a little while so the salt and pepper can do their thing. And a couple more pieces. Never had short ribs, do yourself a favor. Watch this entire cook and try it out. They are delicious. So we're gonna smooth it around in there. That's a little bit easier to me than trying to season each one of them. So we've all got some seasoning on them. Now we'll go ahead and get our veggies ready. I'm gonna add some olive oil to our pan here. Now I have quite a few people coming over, so I have a couple pans going because that's a lot of meat for one, but typically you would only need one. Now we're going to go ahead, our oil's nice and hot. Go ahead and add our meat to the bottom. You can hear that sizzle. It's going to brown. Let me get some color on all the sides. Okay, these have been on that side for about a minute. We're going to go ahead and start flipping them. Give it a chance to get some color. Also leaves a lot of flavor on the bottom of the pan. All that brown will be deglazed when we put the onions in and the broth. So all that flavor stays in the pan. All of our vegetables chopped up. We have some carrots, some onions, celery, and garlic. We're going to put half of this in each pan and let this go ahead and start cooking down. Onions in the pot. Okay. All right, so we've got our onions in the pan here. Going to kind of deglaze it a little bit, let them start cooking down. Same over here. All right, now we're going to add our carrots. Now some celery. Celery gives such a great aroma in the house when it's cooking. Okay, one of the last things we're putting in is I just chopped a big chunk of garlic in half. We're going to lay that one in each pot, just like that. Bring our meat back in. See all the great color, all the bark it has on it. That looks good. Smells amazing in here right now. We've got our oven set at 350, so we're bringing it up to temp. We'll let some of this stuff cook down for a little while, and then we'll put it in the oven. We still have some juice here, so we're going to go ahead and pour some of this juice in this one. You don't want to waste any of that flavor. Now we're going to go ahead and add some beef broth. Beef broth, I'm going to bring it up just about to where it's even with the meat. I'm not sure how much that's going to be. This is one 32-ounce box, so it looks like it's going to take that box. Alright, perfect. Got a handful of parsley, thyme, and rosemary. I'm going to toss that in there on top of the meat. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Put that in on top of the meat. Again, we're bringing this up to about halfway, right about the bottom of the meat. Oh man, it smells good in here. Whew. So I have some tomato paste. I'm gonna take, that's a teaspoon, so we're gonna take a heaping teaspoon. I'm gonna put that in there, one in each pot. And again, I just doubled this recipe because I'm having family over today for Sunday dinner. So I normally wouldn't make this much, but this stuff is great for leftovers too. And then the last thing we're gonna put in is some mushrooms. Okay, I've got some baby portobello mushrooms. I'll go ahead and put half of those in. Maybe a little more than half, oops. Okay, half of those in there. And the last thing, better than bouillon. This gives you a little more depth of flavor. Just about that much. Stuff's pretty stout, adds a lot of flavor, so you don't want to put too much. All right, now we're gonna put the lid on this, let it cook for a few minutes. We got our oven preheating to 350. It's gonna cook for about 3 to 3.5 hours. And we'll pull it out and see what it looks like. So I'll see you in 3.5 hours. All right, these have been in the oven for about 2 hours and 40 minutes maybe. And that's what we've got. I'm going to show you how tender that is. I already took the ones out of this pan. Now watch. Ouch. Ooh, that's hot. So grab my, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the meat out. When I take the meat out, then I'm going to strain the rest of this, but watch how, I mean, it literally just comes apart like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the meat out. We'll strain the veggies off. We'll make a nice gravy. It smells so good. All right, we're over here at the sink. Now we're going to take, we've got all these vegetables in here, so we're going to run it through a colander to get the big stuff first. We still have to make our gravy. So we'll let this run. I'm going to go grab the other pot. Okay, I've got this piece of garlic. I'm going to lay it on my strainer. I'm going to come over here to my pan that we took the meat out of. I'm just going to press that flavor, that roasted garlic, right through the strainer. Turn it over. That's got tons of flavor in that roasted garlic. And scrape it off the bottom. And then we'll just discard the rest of it. Okay, here's what we're left with when we strained that out. So we still have some small chunks in there, which is okay. We're going to go ahead and strain the rest of it into the pan. And next we're going to make a slurry to thicken up the gravy a little bit. So I just take a couple forkfuls of cornstarch. I'm going to mix that with some cold water and then put that in our sauce. Put that in our liquid and make it thick. So we'll go ahead and add some cold water to this. Got the water and the cornstarch. I'm just going to give it a good mix. Now we're going to add our slurry in to our liquid, our braising liquid. I'm going to let that cook down some, and we're going to go ahead and add our meat back in. This is going to thicken up and make a nice sauce. All right, so we put our slurry in, our sauce is thickening up, so we're going to go ahead and put our meat back in there and let it cook for about another 15 or 20 minutes in the sauce, and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put 4 teaspoons of butter in. It kind of gives it a velvety texture, it gives it some more flavor, and this is almost done, almost ready to eat. Thanks. So we have our braised short ribs, we have our grits, and now we're gonna have a bite, see how we did. So as you can see, it just comes apart. I mean, it just fork tender. Let me get some grits, get some gravy. Looks like it's hotter than the surface of the sun, so we'll give it a bite. Pretty amazing. Yeah, that's a 10. So, like my girlfriend, she's a 10. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.